Hello everyone, welcome to a new video lesson. And okay, I've been doing a couple of lessons with King's Indian with knight a6, and this will be my third lesson on this subject. We're going to deal with the c5 on move 10 that I mentioned in those videos, and I will try to expose the complications that arise with this move. So first, let me flip the board, and okay, let's start. Okay, the classical King's Indian, bishop e2, e5, or knight a6 first, and after castle, knight a6. Of course, we already said rook e1, d5, those are the moves, but we're dealing with bishop e3, knight g4, bishop g5, and now queen e8. Of course, there are a few sidelines along the way here, but we are only concentrating in this position. And okay, in my first videos you saw the move d takes on e5 and rook e1. I also mentioned that c5 is a move that we should have under control. Things are quite complicated here. Okay, first of all, let's concentrate on the move h6. It's also possible to play e takes on d4, and after knight d5, h6. If white plays bishop h4, then it transposes to the main game that we're going to see. But of course, white has here bishop e7, and okay, after this move, c6, now bishop takes d6. This is the key move. So after c takes on d5, e takes on d5, white has, in my opinion, a promising position, I think, because of the two pawns, and in any case the d4 pawn will be taken. I tried to rehabilitate this position by playing b6 here, and okay, I don't think this has never been played. The idea is that if c6, then you play knight c5 and you try to blockade on the darkest squares, and if knight takes on d4, then maybe knight e3, but this positioning is highly suspicious here. Bishop takes on f8, king takes, and now I suppose something like c6 is quite scary. At least I don't trust black's position, so this means an improvement has to be made either here or somewhere earlier. Okay, so I also have to say that after c6 it's important that white takes on d6, because other moves like bishop takes on f8, they don't really it's not great for white. After a queen takes on f8, knight f4, and now knight takes on c5, takes on d4, h5. White is up an exchange, but this position is not so simple. Black has a good play on the darkest squares, and white will miss his darkest square bishop. So okay, so we're dealing with h6, and now bishop h4, it takes on d4. Alright, there is this move here that white can play knight takes on d4. That's possible, and after d takes on c5, knight b3. That's a sideline that so recently it has become the main move. To this date, I don't have any clear variation after knight takes on d4. The idea, of course, is that after d takes on c5, knight b3, the knight on g4 will be hanging, so it has to be defended, and then he can push the center pawns, and also white is taking on a6. So to this day I don't have anything here clear after knight takes on d4, so I'm going to skip the move and we're going to see what I studied after knight d5. That was the main move for a while, and I think still a lot of people are playing this, so it's a move that we should consider, and the complications here are just impressive, I think. Okay, first of all, now if d takes on c5, bishop takes on a6, b takes on a6, and now rook c1. That's an improvement of Sheparinov in a different position, the same position but without a6 and bishop h4. The idea of rook c1 is that knight takes on c7, although it wins the exchange, is very unclear, because after queen takes on e4, rook e1, queen c6, knight takes on a8, and now bishop b7, black has a very good position. For example, rook c1, rook takes on a8, bishop g3, queen b6. The two bishops and the central pawns on c5 and d4, they give black an excellent play, I think. For example, after rook e7, knight f6 with the idea of knight d5, in my opinion, is very good. So the idea of rook c1 is to capture on c5 quickly. After bishop b7, rook takes on c5, g5, bishop g3, and okay, c6, knight b4, even better than knight c7, in which black has queen e7 attacking the rook, and after b4, rook d8, the position is no longer so clear. Black will play knight f6 and knight d7, and the bishop on b7 is bad, but it's defending everything, so I don't see big problems for black there. So okay, after rook c1, rook takes on c5, g5, bishop g3. Have to say that knight takes on g5 doesn't work because of bishop takes on d5, in between move. And after queen g4, then f5, a very good move. Then when he takes, take the bishop, rook takes, take the knight and then take the bishop, and black is up a piece. So it's a very nice line. Okay, bishop b7, g5, bishop g3, c6, and knight b4, knight f6, attacking e4, knight d2, knight d7, with the idea of queen e6 next. Knight takes on a6, bishop takes, rook takes, knight c5, rook a5, and knight b7. Okay, still after rook a4, not rook a6, because black can repeat. Rook a4 with the idea of meeting knight c5 with rook c4 or rook b4. Maybe here black is only a little worse. Maybe that's what we can say. Okay, knight c5 can be met with rook a3, I think. It's complex. I ended up my analysis here. This is playable, of course. For black, it's a solution to just go for this position. Okay, after knight d5, g5, then bishop takes on a6 is a move that we should consider. The alternative is bishop g3, and this is probably a good way to play. Then after c6, of course, queen takes on e4, bishop d3, bishop c4 is strong, with the ideas of rook e1. So c6, bishop takes on d6, it takes on d5, and it takes on d5. Another critical position arises, very similar to the one that we just saw before, and probably white is also a little better here. After, let's say, a move like queen e4, then bishop c4 defends the pawn on d5, and with the idea of playing rook e1 next. Black can try my idea of b6 too, and then after knight takes on d4, or even c6, knight c5. Looks okay. Or I think knight takes on d4, yes, is the right move. And now if knight e3, f takes on e3, queen takes on e3, king h1, bishop takes on f8, and after king takes, c6. This is like the same position that we were looking at earlier, and I think white is better because of the move d6 on the next move. There's basically no way to stop it, and 2 pawns on the 6th rank, of course. So bishop g3 is a big question. After c6 takes, maybe something like okay, I think b6 has to be played, otherwise white will take on d4 or take on a6, and after knight takes on d4, perhaps here b takes on c5 instead of knight takes on e3. And after knight c6, queen d7. This may be possible, defending g4. Okay, knight e7, knight takes, and now bishop g3, c4, interesting move, defends the knight on a6, and after bishop g4, f5. And if bishop h3, g4, and if bishop f3, f4, and after bishop g4, queen d6, bishop takes, and here black can be better, yes. Maybe not so much, but a little, probably, yes. Okay, so b takes on c5 is for you to analyze. Okay, after g5, bishop takes on a6 is the other move that is played quite often, and after g takes on h4, that's the right move to keep the bishop on a6 on their attack. Now knight takes on c7, queen c6. If knight takes on a8, b takes on a6, and after c takes on d6, queen takes on a8, and black should be a little better here. Okay, so what they do is that they take on d6 first, and after b takes on a6, rook c1. Alright, we have this position here, and okay, white has gained a tempo in respect to the other line, and okay, black has played queen d6 here. I have to mention also another move, queen takes on e4, has never been played, also part of my study of this position. The idea is just to gain more material, have some ideas with h4, h3, and after knight takes on a8, queen takes, rook e1, rook d8, bishop f8, and gaining the d6 pawn. That's part of the plan. Rook c7, bishop f8, h3, knight f6, queen takes on d4, rook takes on d6, queen takes on h4, and maybe these positions in general are very hard to have a correct assessment of the position. They have never been played. They are completely unbalanced. Here you can see black's pawn structure is a complete mess. His strength is the minor pieces, the two bishops, and against white's solid position and two rooks. So this is very difficult to give a correct evaluation. Although I think after knight d5, rook c4, the position is interesting for black. I mean, for both sides. It just depends on a matter of taste here. I would take black any minute, but that's me. Alright, so of course there could be mistakes or improvement for either side that I'm missing. So I just want you to uh, understand a little bit of what I think of the line and the complexity of this position. So queen takes on e4, rook e1, and after queen b7, knight takes on a8, h3, queen takes d4. This would be our main line. After bishop e6, queen takes on h4, queen b8, now attacks b2 and also attacks d6. So I think black holds this position too. Okay, after rook, so queen e4 is already a novelty that can be played, and queen takes d6 is what has been played before, which is also very interesting. And after knight takes on a8, h3, and in between move. The idea is to weaken the white king. If rook e1, then black can play d3. It's a very crazy position here. Just so in case you're wondering, if white takes on h3, black will play knight e5. That's the thing. But then the pawn on h3 will be hanging, and also the king would be a little bit open. So if rook e1, like I said before, then d3, queen d2, bishop b7. This was again knight c7, f5, trying to open up the diagonal. After e5, queen b6, e6 takes on g2, e7, and now bishop takes on f3, it takes on f8, bishop takes on f8. Crazy position again. Black has two bishops for two rooks, but the white king is in a little bit of trouble. Bishop d6 is a threat, and okay, you can see here rook f8. There is nothing else. Bishop takes, h3, bishop b4, and black went on to win very quickly after this. So there is a lot of ideas here. Okay, knight c7, that's the move. That's the correct move in this position. And after pawn takes on g2, rook e1. And okay, maybe we can try a move like d3 here. That wouldn't be so crazy, but I guess knight d5. That's my thinking, with the idea of taking on d3 next. So king h8 is a try, a good idea, with the idea of f5. It's not good to play f5 immediately, because white can take, and in the end he has knight e8 with a fork against the queen and the bishop on g7. We don't want that. So king h8, h3, knight e5, and then after knight d5, if black plays queen d7, then after knight f4, defense h3, knight g6, knight takes, pawn takes, and again this position is very complex. King h7, I'm sure black has some compensation. It's difficult to say how much compensation does he have, but this unbalanced position means that it's very sharp, and either side have to play accurate. Okay, black is supposed to be losing, but white can lose any minute if he plays wrong. It's a very sharp position. So it's also possible to play knight takes on e5 here, which is maybe but okay, queen takes on h3. I forget about this move. Yes, it's threatening mate. So knight takes on f7, and king h7. And the idea is that black wants bishop g4, sometimes. So f4, black already has a draw here with queen h1 and queen h4. So d3, the idea of bishop d4 too. If e5, rook takes on f7, rook takes on c8. If queen takes c8, then after queen takes d3 check, we are almost losing. But then black has this amazing move, bishop takes on e5, which is threatening bishop d4 check. White doesn't have any check, so rook c4 to stop bishop d4, and now queen h1. This is an amazing line. King f2, g1, rook takes, queen takes d5. White cannot take on e5, there are no checks yet, and after queen g4, bishop d4, and black is better because rook takes, queen takes, king d1, and after queen e2 is a slightly better endgame. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. It's probably maybe black cannot win, but still, it's difficult defense for white. So, okay, knight f4 here in this position. It should be the move. So queen d7 is a move to consider. I think also a novelty that I found in this line. Bishop h3 is the move played in the game, and after knight takes on e5, bishop takes on e5, f4, and here this position is already good for white. If bishop takes on f4, the queen takes on d4 with check, and if not, then queen f3, bishop e6, f5 shuts all the attack. So this already is a bad position for black. After d3, f6, d2 takes, it doesn't really matter. Queen c3, queen takes d2, and over. Okay, so in this complex line we have seen a couple of critical points. The first critical point is in the opening when you play h6, bishop h4, e takes on d4, knight takes on d4. Unfortunately, knight takes on d4, I really don't have anything. I wouldn't mind sharing my personal analysis, but knight takes on d4, I haven't made my mind about that moves yet. Okay, I have something, but I'm not sure if it works or not. So, and the other thing, after knight takes on d5, g5. Okay, for those who like this move, I think it's not that bad. And after bishop takes on a6, b takes, rook c1, the position is playable for black, and it has a level of complexity that is acceptable to play it for a win. Bishop b7, rook takes e5, g5, and okay, if knight takes e7 here, queen takes on e4, followed by g takes on no, if knight takes e7, queen e7, sorry, attacks the rook on c5. That's better. So bishop g3, and then c6, knight b4, and then knight f6, with the idea of knight d7 and queen e6. This position is not that bad if you in my opinion. Something like queen c2, for example, can be met with c5, and already black is with the initiative. Queen b3 is also possible, but after rook e8, f3, c5, black is also in control. Rook e6 is not winning, but it's not losing. The c5 pawn is protected, so very difficult to say what's happening here. In my opinion, black should hold. Okay, I have to say another thing. After here, queen, if knight takes on b3, c4, knight c5, bishop c8, this can only be good for black. Knight c5, bishop c8 again is the two bishops, and these two pawns after d3, the b2 pawn will also be weak. So okay, so this is the first interesting point in which black can deviate, and also g5. If bishop g3 is the critical move here, and in which c6, bishop takes, this position seems to favor white, in my opinion. And the other thing, bishop takes on a6, g takes on h4, knight c7, queen c6, knight takes on a8 is not great because takes on a6, and then takes on a8, c takes on d6, takes, rook c1, and now queen takes on e4. That's another move is worth trying. And rook e1, queen b7, knight takes, h3, and queen b8. Okay, so that's the second point. And then in the move queen d6, knight takes on a8, h3. When he plays knight c7, then takes on g2, rook e1, king h8, h3, knight e5, and now queen d7. Of course, here there is a move I think I forgot to mention, and that move is rook takes on c8. Yes, the idea is that after rook takes on c8, when to take on e5 and play f4, that has to be analyzed as well. Okay, so in general this is a risky line for unbalanced positions. You can play it, but the game is highly unclear. Now we're going to see another solution that it seems easier, but I don't think it quite equalizes. And even if it's good, black cannot aim for more than a draw, and that's not very much of my taste. So we're going to look at this game, and this is probably the correct line for black, but I don't really like it. Queen e8 after c5, it takes on d4, knight d5, yes, and now bishop e6. Okay, this is the move that the strong players have been playing. Of course, the line is everything is all relatively new, so it's very hard to say what's good, what's bad. But this looks like the safer try. Okay, this looks like the safe move. And after c takes on d6, bishop takes on d5, e takes on d5, c takes on d6. And okay, if now white plays rook e1, then after knight c5, with the idea that knight takes on d4, knight takes on f2. That's a nice trick, but very obvious for white to miss. King takes, knight e4, and black wins. But the right move is bishop takes on a6, and after b takes on a6, knight takes on d4. Okay, of course the problem is that the knight is going to c6, so queen e5, attacking h2 and d4, queen takes on g4, queen takes on d4, break the queens, bishop takes, and now a key move for white, rook d1. This is a very strong move. The idea, if bishop takes on b2, bishop e7, and capture on d6, and the pawn on d5 is already protected. If you look at the position, the material is equal, but it looks like if you lose the d6 pawn, white will have like an extra pawn, because the a6, a7 pawns don't really count. So it's an endgame that we should analyze. After bishop c5, bishop f6. Of course, it looks like white is slightly better, but probably black can hold. Actually, in the game that we're looking, the game was draw after king f8, rook e1, rook c8, but I find it unpleasant to play. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe here already black equalized, but in my opinion this is not uh, my kind of position. So, but if you like it, if you say, okay, I'm set up for equality, if white goes for this line, then you can try bishop e6. Okay, this is the safer move. There isn't much more than c takes on d6, takes, and c takes on d6, and that's it. Let me see one thing. I have something written about h6 here. Okay, we have to consider bishop e7, like in the other line that we saw in the previous game. But if bishop h4, bishop e6, let me see if things change. Then c takes on d6, bishop takes. Oh yeah, here white is not forced to take on a6. He has the extra move of bishop g3. Yeah, and he's attacking d6, so and after d3, bishop takes, queen d7, and knight d4. Yes, this is not very good for black. And also there is the chance that he can play here rook e1, because knight c5, black doesn't have that trick of knight takes on f2 anymore. Now there is no knight takes on f2 like in the other line. Queen e4 attacking the knight, bishop takes, and after bishop e7, yes, this is probably better for white too. Bishop pair, pass pawn, and d6, rook d7, rook takes on e4. So this is the sort of endgame that I fear. Okay, imagine here with a pawn on a6 rather than on b7, like in the main line. Something like this can happen very easily. Okay. Okay, so in my opinion, you should go for either move. Depends on your taste. Okay, so far this is all I got on the move c5. I am still looking for improvement. So if anything, I'll let you know. I also, if you have anything interesting to say on the forum, feel free to do so. Any improvement you can find, I'd be glad to hear some moves and variations. Okay everybody, thanks for watching. This is Renier.